in light of the things that have happened in the most recent time, my creativity has like gone out the window. I had like really like almost no creativity except for like this thing here with the axe guy. I hadn't had much, what do you call it, much creativity because my mind has been really kind of thinking about in terms of humanity and where we are as people. So for the most part, though, I'm just trying to figure out what's the best thing to do. But hold on, I know what the best thing to do, but I'm just saying like, no, just trying to figure out what the best thing to do in terms of like, which artwork should I present to you today? Which kind of things I should like, present and show you guys how cool stuff that we've been working on. But I haven't been able to. So we've been actually watching Fear of the Walking Dead, which is the whole Walking Dead thing with the different parts and stuff like that. So we've been doing that, and then we've been watching The Next Generation. So that's been kind of interesting. But it's just trying to find my bearings in the midst of all this. It has been a lot because it's like the 9/11 thing. Because like with the whole thing like 9/11, it hasn't been trying to figure out exactly where and who did what they did to us as a people. When I looked at the tower at Spires when I was there on the waterfront, I was concerned thinking about like how there has been like there's who actually did this thing to us, 9/11. With we know people did die and people are did pass away, but who were the ones who actually did this thing? Was it the people they say did it, or was it an inside job? And because of that, now there's kind of mystery in terms of everything as to who to trust. We've been saying that for many years. We who conspiracy theorists, we who believe in many things, we don't, we constantly asking ourselves what happened. So that kind of brings us to that question about like how do you create? You can only create when you have freedom. For example, if you're in a location where you're safe to do it, you can actually create. Like, for example, I'm in a place where it's really busy, or I'm not allowed to do something, or forbidden. My creativity is on high alert because, and so in a situation where like this, you want to be able to speak your mind and speak freely. And if your person is able to speak and talk to people, and as you can see, the more you listen and learn about the guy, you start learning that there's actually a situation where he's learn about Charlie Kirk. You learn that he actually was, the stuff he said that was terrible, but the stuff that he said that was really good, and that he really kind of tried to reach people and have open dialogue, and being in the neck kind of closes that up. So the thing is, like, pretty much the whole question is like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna be able to create? How are you gonna proceed from here? How we as a country are gonna proceed with all kind of things happening? That's one of those things that we have to kind of think about. We have to be able to talk. And so if we can't talk, it hasn't been able to make sense of stuff, then what are we going to do? How are we going to make sense of stuff? That's where I'm having a hard time with this, hard time creating. And this is like, I just made this the other day for my coworkers. Well, one of usually the third of the many axes. But for the most part, though, my creativity is slowly coming back. And I'm just like trying to make sense of everything, I mean, think about it. If you had a potential of getting hurt for saying you're speaking your mind, would you speak your mind? Or would you be quiet? Probably keep